Good day, you absolute legends. Welcome back to another edition of Update News. Now, today's story is something I came across by chance. However, I feel like this really needed to be highlighted a heck of a lot more. Now, as we know, with the latest update, with No Man's Sky, the cursed update, it did bring a lot of bugs. And obviously, I've always said to you, and every other content creator has always been saying to you, well, if you have bugs, report them to Zendesk. And then obviously, once that's been sent off, what happens after that? Usually, from your perspective, it's crossing your fingers, waiting for the patch updates to come out, and praying to the Hello Games gods that your problem has been fixed. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for the very first time, we can now see it from Hello Games' perspective with this chap right here, known as Martin. Now, Martin is a Hello Games developer, and he goes on to say something rather special, and he shows us how he's actually fixed one of these Zendesk bug reports. Now, before we do get into all the nitty and gritty stuff, ladies and gentlemen, as always, can you just please make sure for me that you are indeed still subscribed to the channel? If you need to resubscribe, please do resubscribe, or if you have been watching me for a while and you like what I do, then why not consider hitting that subscribe button? You definitely will not regret it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a lot to cover today, so let's get right on into today's video. So first of all, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about what was sent over to Martin in the first place. Well, we do have a video right here, and as you can see, it is a literal buggy mess. Everything is flickering all over the place. You can see it is a very, very big problem. Now, Martin over on Twitter or X.com or whatever you want to call it these days goes on to say this: as a graphics engine coder, I think when you look at flickering bug like this one, in the video below, it's not immediately obvious what is going on. The key here is observation. To study this flickering / bugged render carefully, what do you see? Firstly, for me, it was very obvious that nearly all of the scene shadows were flashing on and off. But there was a secondary issue where some building and parts of the sky were also flashing purple. Interesting. I initially thought then that this might be two separate bugs, but because the sky purple element could only based on full screen post effects and not 3D rendering, I looked at this first with a few GPU captures to step through all of our post processing to find the rendering stage which made these pixels turn purple. When I did this, I found the color 3D texture LUT or LUT grading that makes our different biomes have unique color palettes was going very wrong. Colors near 0 or 1 were wrapping and making the purple elements that we see in the said sky and base parts. The only way this could happen was if the texture was corrupt, which it was not, or if the 3D texture sampling was wrapping and not clamped as intended. This was the eureka moment, because if the post fixed had the wrong texture sampler, then the disappearing shadows, which also require an exact texture sampler for comparing depth, might be also wrong because of the same kind of texture sampling issue. So with this idea that the engine was using the wrong texture samplers, but only in very high draw call scenes like the big base here, I looked at some engine limits and found the bug very quickly. A circular DX12 descriptor buffer for some samplers running out over multiple frames, reusing the wrong data for the new scenes in flight. Hence the flickering. As the GPU randomly got wrong samplers for some post textures or shadow depth, easy to fix with triple limits for future expansion, and also adding a assert/debug spam in case this limit is ever reached again. QA testers would see this message and report it if they ever saw a flicker with this style of bug. My bug and my bad from 2017 ported No Man's Sky to DX12 without foreseeing how massively complex bases and our game would grow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see right there, that is an amazing documented case of what happens when you send something over to Zendesk, and Mr. Martin goes ahead and tells us exactly what he did to try and fix this problem in amazing detail. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've seen this video at the very start. This was the problem, again, just for a quick refresher. But what now does this look like? Well, Mr. Martin went ahead and posted this video and says the same location and save running with the fix. Flickering is gone, and since it was a general engine bug / limit being reached, it'll probably help other large bases that had this issue on Xbox. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I can't even begin to describe how I feel about this. I think that this is just such an awesome thing that we've just read and watched. You know, we've seen something that was sent over via Zendesk, got over to Martin's desk, and Martin went ahead and fixed the problem, and he documented in detail on how he did it. Absolutely fantastic. And I really do wish that Hello Games in general would do this a lot more, showing that the problems that they are getting through Zendesk aren't just being ignored, because the only time we know that they are getting fixed is with a patch update. But when we send something over to Zendesk, from our perspective, we submit the bug report, and then, like I said earlier in the video, we just have to cross our fingers and hope it comes through on the patch notes. But if they could do something like this in the future and just show more documented cases, and I think it would really encourage people to submit bug reports, so then the game can get fixed even more, because I feel like sometimes there are bugs in the game and people don't actually report it because they don't really feel what's the point, they're not going to do anything about it anyway. But I hope this video serves today, that it shows that Hello Games are actively fixing bugs that are reported through Zendesk. So hopefully this does encourage more people to send those bug reports and get every last one of those bugs completely squished, because obviously without you guys, ladies and gentlemen, the team can only do so much. So let's help them all out, submit those bug reports, and let's take this game to the next level. Now, one last thing before I do let you go today, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say a massive thank you to all of my Patreon members. And if you want to go ahead and support the channel through Patreon, you can do by following the Patreon link in the video description down below. It starts off at a completely free tier, and then it goes up in multiple tiers from there. But any support, ladies and gentlemen, that I do get helps the channel out massively. But also, if you don't want to go through Patreon to help support the channel any further, then you can also go ahead and join my YouTube members as well. I think there's a join button somewhere down below this video, and again, it starts off at less than the price of a cup of coffee. However, please don't feel obligated to go down that route. Just leaving a like on this video, hitting that subscribe button, and leaving me a comment is well more than enough support. It's just absolutely amazing. You guys are absolute legends, and just keep on doing what it is that you're doing. But ladies and gentlemen, that is everything from me here today. As always, my name is Professor Cynical, and I'll catch you all again in the next one. Bye for now.